two champions over 200 metres, but Lyles is never to be denied his shining moment.
Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson just dropped news that's sending shockwaves through the track and field world. Partnering with USA Track and Field, the two sprinting superstars are joining forces in a move that could redefine American dominance on the global stage. With the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics fast approaching, their announcement has fans convinced something big is coming. After a series of successes at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, both Lyles and Richardson have cemented their places as the faces of U.S. sprinting. Their performances were not just victories in terms of timing, but a signal that the U.S. is coming for the gold, especially in the highly competitive relay events. Historically, while the U.S. has been a dominant force in individual sprinting, its relay teams have faced challenges. But that all changed after the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo. The U.S. Track and Field Federation, USATF, overhauled its relay strategy, and the results have been nothing short of impressive. Both the U.S. men's and women's 4x100-meter relay teams won gold, a feat only achieved once before in the past 10 years at a major championship. At the heart of this success were Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson. We always have great talent, but do we have the culture in place to allow the talent to achieve what they're capable of? Said Robert Chapman, USA Track and Field's Chief of High Performance Operations. I feel we took a solid, positive step to nailing that process. The U.S. made some crucial changes, focusing less on internal politics and more on performance. With a streamlined selection process for the relay teams, the coaching staff emphasized consistency and execution, resulting in one of the least dramatic and most successful relay campaigns the U.S. has seen in years. Sha'Carri Richardson, who anchored the U.S. women's 4x100-meter relay team to a gold medal in Tokyo, has had a transformative journey. Her performances have been nothing short of awe-inspiring, and her leadership at the 2025 World Championships was a major milestone. After winning the 4x100-meter relay, Sha'Carri Richardson emphasized that it wasn't just about individual speed, but the team's chemistry and trust. Her performance was fueled by the unity and coordination, which ultimately made the difference in securing the victory.
We've been great, and we're going to continue to be great because as athletes, women are going to show up, and our coach and athletes as well all have the same common goal.
Richardson's journey from a controversial suspension to becoming a world champion has been a testament to her resilience. In 2024, she solidified her status on the global stage with a silver medal in the 100 meters at the Paris Olympics and a gold medal in the 4x100 meters relay. However, her role as an anchor in the relay race was what really highlighted her leadership qualities. On the men's side, Noah Lyles has become one of the most consistent sprinters in the world, with a personal best of 9.79 seconds in the 100 meters and 19.31 seconds in the 200 meters. Lyles is setting new standards in the sport. Lyles' 2025 World Championships performance was legendary. He not only anchored the U.S. men's 4x100-meter relay team to gold, but also took home a gold medal in the 200-meter with a time of 19.52 seconds. Noah Lyles has consistently emphasized that his motivation stems from personal ambition rather than external expectations. He has stated that he doesn't run for others but for himself, aiming to be the best and pushing his limits. Lyles has also expressed that his achievements are stepping stones to greater goals, focusing on continuous improvement and striving for the next level in his athletic career. The 2028 Los Angeles Olympics are fast approaching, and both Richardson and Lyles have their sights firmly set on more gold medals. For the U.S. relay teams, these Olympics could be a turning point. After years of ups and downs in the relays, the U.S. seems poised for a golden era in both the men's and women's 4x100-meter events. Richardson and Lyles are not just star athletes, they are the cornerstones of Team USA's relay success. Their leadership, focus, and dedication to excellence will play a key role in shaping the future of U.S. sprinting. As the anchor of both the men's and women's relay teams, they are positioned to play a central role in the U.S. pursuit of gold at the 2028 Olympics. The success of Team USA's relays is also a testament to the cultural shift within USA Track and Field. For years, internal politics and questionable team selections plagued the relay teams. But with the 2025 overhaul of the relay process, the focus shifted squarely on performance, and the results have been extraordinary. Wallace Spearman oversees U.S. relay team selections, ensuring clarity. He states, "We sent out depth charts so people knew exactly where they would run, ensuring everyone understood their role." Spearman emphasizes the culture shift, saying, "It's the least amount of drama I've seen since I've been involved in the sprint program, dating back to the mid-2000s." The streamlined selection process has allowed athletes to focus on their performance without the added pressure of competing for a spot on the team. As Lyles and Richardson lead the charge in the 4x100-meter relays, the U.S. is finally seeing the rewards of this shift in culture. With the 2028 Olympics rapidly approaching, it's clear that both Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson will be key to Team USA's success. Their performances in Tokyo have shown that they are ready for the challenge of competing on the world's biggest stage. But perhaps even more importantly, they are setting the standard for what it means to be a leader on a relay team. The 2028 Olympics will be a defining moment for these two athletes. For Richardson, it will be another opportunity to cement her place as one of the greatest sprinters of her generation. For Lyles, it will be a chance to continue his dominance in the 200 meters and help secure gold in the men's 4x100-meter relay. Together, they have the potential to bring home multiple golds for Team USA and rewrite the history books in the process. Their combined strength, leadership, and drive are setting the stage for a new era in U.S. track and field. The relay teams are ready to make their mark, and with Lyles and Richardson leading the charge, the future of U.S. sprinting looks brighter than ever. As Chapman said, "Outcomes matter," Chapman said. "But at the beginning of the quad, we wanted to focus on the process. If we nailed the process and dropped the stick or got beat, then I'm okay with that. But if we win and have a messed up process, then we're not making progress on what we need to do for 2028. The pairing of Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson, combined with the overhaul of the U.S. relay system, has given Team USA a renewed sense of purpose and excitement. As we look ahead to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, there's no doubt that Lyles and Richardson will be at the forefront of the U.S. track and field team, aiming for gold in both individual events and the relays. The future is bright for U.S. sprinting, and these two athletes are ready to lead the way. Quincy Wilson just became the fastest teenager in the history of the 400 meters. But here's the crazy part. He didn't just break the record once, he broke it 3 times in 2 months. And each time, people couldn't believe what they were seeing. Let's go back to where this all started. June 2024, the U.S. Olympic Trials. This is where the best runners in America compete for a spot on the Olympic team. These are professionals, adults who have been training for years. And then there's Quincy, a 16-year-old from Maryland. He lines up for his first race. The gun goes off, and when he crosses the finish line, everyone looks at the clock. 44.66 seconds. Wait, that can't be right. The old high school record was 44.69, and that record had stood for 42 years. Quincy just destroyed it in his first race, but he wasn't done. 2 days later, he runs again in the semifinals. This time, 44.59 seconds. He broke his own record, the one he set 2 days earlier. Then came the finals. Quincy finished 6th place overall with 44.94 seconds. 6th place sounds normal, right? Except remember, these are the best runners in America. Professional athletes, and a high school kid just competed with them. Not only that, he earned a spot on the Olympic relay team. At 16 years old, Quincy became the youngest male track athlete ever to make a U.S. Olympic team. But the story gets even crazier. 1 month later, July 19th, 2024, Gainesville, Florida, the Holloway Pro Classic. This is a professional race, not a high school meet. Quincy is racing against Olympic athletes again. The race starts, and Quincy is running side by side with Bryce Deadman. Deadman is a professional. He had just made the Olympic team too. These two are flying down the track, neck and neck. Nobody can tell who's winning. They cross the finish line. Everyone looks at the scoreboard. Quincy Wilson, 44.20 seconds. Bryce Deadman, 44.23 seconds.
Wilson and Deadman headed to Paris, and they meet the line at the same time. 44.2.
Quincy won by 0.03 of a second, but more importantly, he just broke the world under 18 record. Again, for the third time in 60 days, a high school kid just beat a professional Olympic athlete. The number 44.20 put Quincy at number 6 in the entire world for 2024. Not number 6 for high schoolers, number 6 in the world. He was faster than Michael Norman, one of America's top professional runners. The only American faster than Quincy was Quincy Hall, the world leader. But wait, there's more to this story, because that wasn't even his fastest time. August 2024, Paris, France, the Olympic Games, the biggest stage in all of sports. Quincy is there. At 16 years old, representing the United States, the men's 4x400 meter relay has heats first. 4 runners each run 400 meters and pass a baton. Quincy runs the first leg. He splits 47.27 seconds. Not his best time. Actually, it's much slower than what we know he can do. He hands off the baton in 7th place. But his teammates are incredible. Vernon Norwood runs next, then Bryce Deadman, then Christopher Bailey. Team USA qualifies for the finals. The next day comes the final race, the race for the gold medal. But here's the thing, Quincy doesn't run in the finals. The coaches chose different runners: Christopher Bailey, Vernon Norwood, Bryce Deadman, and Rai Benjamin. And they were unstoppable. They won the gold medal. They set a new Olympic record, 2:54.43. Just 0.14 seconds away from the world record that was set back in 1993. Now you might be thinking, Quincy didn't run in the finals. Does he still get a medal? Yes. Because he ran in the heats, he earned a gold medal too. At 16 years old, Quincy Wilson became the youngest track and field athlete ever to win an Olympic gold medal. Most athletes would celebrate and take a break after winning Olympic gold. Not Quincy. He kept training. He kept racing. He kept getting faster. Fast forward to July 2025, Memphis, Tennessee, the Ed Murphy Classic. Quincy is now 17 years old. He just finished his high school season, and he's about to race against professional athletes again, including Stephen Gardner, the Olympic 400-meter champion from the Bahamas. Think about that. A high school kid racing against the Olympic gold medalist in the individual 400 meters. The race begins. Quincy starts in lane 5. He runs the first 200 meters with confidence. Then in the final stretch, he surges forward. He pulls away from everyone, including the Olympic champion. He crosses the finish line. The clock stops. 44.10 seconds. The crowd goes silent, then erupts. Quincy just ran 44.10. He broke his own record again, the record he set in Florida last year. He took off 1/10 of a second. His closest competitor, Bryce Deadman, the same professional he beat last year. Deadman finished in 44.39. Quincy beat him by nearly 0.3 of a second. Let's talk about how insane this really is. Quincy's time of 44.10 makes him the second fastest under-20 athlete in history, ever, in the entire world. The only person faster is Steve Lewis. He ran 43.87 at the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, South Korea, and Steve Lewis was 19 years old when he did it. He also won the gold medal that day. Quincy is 17, and he's only 0.77 seconds away from that record, a record that has stood for 37 years. But here's another crazy stat. Quincy's 44.10 made him the 4th fastest person in the entire world in 2025. Not 4th fastest teenager, 4th fastest person. Period. After the race, Quincy talked to reporters. He said, "Staying to my coach's plan and trusting his process. I feel like this season is really starting to come upon what I've been working for right now." Notice what he said. This season is starting to come together. Starting, which means he thinks he can go even faster. Being this good this young comes with attention. Quincy has 393,000 followers on Instagram. People recognize him, some people cheer for him, some people doubt him. He even mentioned that he dealt with hecklers at the Memphis race. But Quincy handles it well. He said, "I feel like when it comes with being who I am, the fame and everything has gone up and escalated. I'm just thankful for it. Every single part of it. You'll have the goods and you'll have the bad. But those are the things that make Quincy Wilson." That's a mature response from a 17-year-old. Most teenagers would struggle with that kind of pressure, but Quincy embraces it, the good and the bad. So how did Quincy get here? He started running when he was 8 years old. His parents, Monique and Roy Wilson, saw his talent early. They made a big decision. They moved their family from Chesapeake, Virginia to Maryland. Why? So Quincy could attend Bully School in Potomac, Maryland, a school known for its track program. It was the right choice. Quincy's cousin, Shania Hall, graduated from Bullis in 2020. She went on to run track at the University of Oregon, so running fast is in the family. When Quincy was just 14 years old, he broke a national record that had stood for 30 years, Obia Moore's under 14 record in the 400 meters. That's when people started paying attention. By the time Quincy was 16, he had won 5 AAU Junior Olympic Games titles. He set high school records in the 400 meters, 500 meters, and 600 meters. He anchored his school's relay team to multiple national records. And in September 2023, Quincy signed a name, image, and likeness deal with New Balance, one of the biggest shoe companies in the world. He was one of the youngest athletes ever to sign a major NIL deal. So what happens next? Quincy hasn't decided if he'll go to college or turn professional. He could compete in college and continue developing, or he could skip college and start racing professionally for money right now. Either way, one thing is clear. Quincy Wilson is chasing Steve Lewis's under-20 world record of 43.87 seconds. And based on how fast he's improving, it's not a matter of if he'll break it, it's when. And if his progression continues the way it has been, that record is going down. At just 16, Uwezo Lubenda is shaking up Australian sprinting. One race, one record-breaking run. That's all it took for him to prove that Gout isn't the only rising star anymore. His blazing 100-meter sprint didn't just break records, it sent a message that a new rivalry has officially begun. In front of a stunned crowd in northern Queensland, Lubenda, who hails from Townsville, clocked an astonishing 10.35 seconds in the 100 meters. That time broke Hugh Donovan's under-16 record of 10.73, set all the way back in 2010. To call it a breakthrough would be an understatement. For context, this time would have been fast enough to move past the preliminary heats at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, a senior-level global event. And it couldn't have come at a more interesting time. Just a year older, Gout, Australia's reigning sprint sensation, had previously dominated the headlines. At only 17, he'd already represented his country at the World Championships, reached the semifinals in the 200 meters, and smashed the 10-second barrier in the 100 meters twice in a single day. His time of 10.17 seconds at the age of 16 remains among the best ever seen at that level. But now, there's a new contender on the track. Uwezo Lubenda's performance doesn't just rival Gout's, it redefines the conversation. This isn't just about being fast. This is about stepping onto a stage that only a select few in the world are invited to. Gout has competition, and Australia has two teenage sprinting juggernauts heading toward the 2032 Brisbane Olympics. What makes Lubenda's emergence even more compelling is the journey that brought him here. Born in January 2009, Lubenda is a Congolese immigrant who moved to Australia with his family in 2013. Since then, he has steadily risen through the ranks, powered by raw talent, discipline, and the unwavering belief that he belongs among the world's best. After receiving his gold medal from former Olympian Paul DiBella, Lubenda told the Townsville Bulletin, "Man, I feel amazing. I was kind of hoping for a time like that. I wasn't thinking too much about it, but I'm really grateful." That humility, combined with blistering speed, makes him a dangerous prospect. In fact, this isn't just about record times, it's about how he wins. At the Queensland event, Lubenda didn't just edge out the competition, he dominated it. Eyewitness reports and event footage described him finishing with a huge lead ahead of the chasing pack. That kind of race execution speaks to more than speed. It speaks to composure, confidence, and world-class athletic maturity. His coach advised him to stay relaxed, stick to his rhythm, and keep it simple. And Lubenda did exactly that. Everything went smoothly. Everything went according to plan, he said. It was a performance that not only broke a record, but also turned heads internationally. Meanwhile, Gout continues to build on his impressive resume. Born into a Sudanese family that migrated to Australia 2 decades ago, Gout has carved a name for himself through sheer dominance on the track. He has already signed a lucrative endorsement deal with Adidas and has shared that the sponsorship allowed him to focus solely on training. Reflecting on the deal, he told GQ, "It was crazy. The number kept getting higher and I realized how much these companies think I'm worth. But that sponsorship really helps you get to the next level because obviously you need the money to travel and to train. Especially since I'm at school, so I don't need to go and find a job at Macca's or whatever to put fuel in my car. It definitely helps a lot.